Hey guys, welcome back. Today I brought you out to my range, a place where I go shooting. I've been jonesing for the past day to finally run this 870 Police Magnum that I just picked up yesterday. So I figured I would bring you guys along for the ride and talk about a thing that I've kind of noticed and that I definitely like, and that's the resurgence of the defensive shotgun, at least based on what I can tell and what I can see, according to YouTube and stuff like that. Just kind of a few reasons for it, because everyone that knows me obviously knows that I am definitely a shotgun nerd, and it's definitely one of my favorite guns, and definitely I have the most fun shooting it. But I just wanted to kind of talk about it today because there's a lot of new gun owners out there, hopefully a lot of new shotgun owners out there, and just kind of talk about why I see this renewed and rejuvenated interest in one of the coolest type of firearms ever made. So first reason is, I think obviously because of the corona pandemic, you are seeing a lot of new gun owners. So whether that's family members, friends, gun shop employees, I think a lot of people are getting obviously good and bad advice, but I think a good solid piece of advice that these new gun owners are getting is buy a shotgun. So, good for homestead defense, good for no matter what you live in, whether it's a farm, apartment, house, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just a good all-around weapon. It's not, it's not too expensive, so people are lucky enough to be able to go out and find these still, even today. Whereas maybe handguns, high capacity or standard, but higher capacity handguns and fighting rifles probably flew off the shelves weeks ago. Second reason why I think that there's a little bit of a rejuvenation of the renewed interest in defensive type shotguns is I think some people, myself included, occasionally get a little tired of kind of the tactical scene. We get so inundated with AR-15 videos and information and parts, and just it's almost to the point where it's nauseating. Same with polymer pistols. I mean, I know most people have a polymer pistol, at least one, and a lot of us carry them, and that's fine, but there's only so much interest that I can garner in watching another AR-15 or another Glock 19 video. So I think some people are you kind of go back to what used to be cool, as you see like every single decade. The 80s are cool now. Well, it was the 70s a while ago. So I think a lot of it's just nostalgia, and you kind of get tired of what you get completely bombarded with. So it might be some sort of like a form, I guess, of backlash towards those kind of guns. Thirdly, I think a lot of people who never really were interested in shotguns before, or including newer folks who are just getting into guns, I think they're discovering that how affordable they are, yet while still being effective. Meaning you can typically pick up a solid pump action shotgun for about between $300 and $500. Of course, there's nicer ones, and of course there's cheaper ones, but you can definitely get yourself into a good scatter gun for that kind of money that'll probably last you the rest of your life and your kids' life. So also they're cheap to shoot. I mean, you can get anywhere from like $20 100-round packs of target load, which I get at Walmart, which, matter of fact, I just picked up 4 more of those as I knew I was going to pick this up in a few days. So I think it was the day before I actually got this gun. I went to Walmart and picked up 4 boxes of that, even though I didn't really need it. I know I'm gonna be running the shit out of this thing for the next few weeks, so I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea. And even with defensive loads like buckshot and slugs, I mean, typically you're never gonna really pay more than like $1 a round, which is pretty good. So they're cheap and easy to buy. They're cheap and easy to feed and to have fun with them. Next reason, I think it's just mainly like the fun factor. There's so many different ways that you can upgrade or change these guns out. You can keep it kind of old school like I did, which is probably the most badass way, or you can completely mall ninja them out and put mag pull shit everywhere, and short length of pull stocks and fore ends and aftermarket sights, mag tube extensions. I mean, everything. So almost everything you can do with an AR, you can do it with a shotgun, but usually for cheaper. So I guess it's just like the modularity of it is definitely like a big draw. Probably the final and the most important reason is I think it's because it's cultural. To me, a shotgun, especially a pump shotgun, 100% represents Americana. Whereas I know shotguns aren't unique to the United States. It seems like everyone grew up with a grandpa or a dad or an uncle or a brother or someone. Someone was related to pretty much everyone was related to someone who had one of these things, whether it was in a gun safe, hanging on a wall, a gun rack, or in the corner leaned up against inside of a closet. So it was definitely one of the first guns that I ever ran as a child. I think the first shotgun, I think my first gun experience, it was a 16 gauge. A single shot 16 gauge. That might have been the first gun I ever fired. I think I was 5 or 6. I remember my grandfather taking me out and shooting it. And then, like I'd mentioned in a previous video talking about this police magnum, you know, I just grew up back in the 70s and 80s watching all these badass and bad cop shows and movies and stuff, and you know there was always a shotgun involved, whether it was from the police, the SWAT, or the bad guys themselves. So I think it's truly a cultural thing. Anyway, so that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Those are my 5 reasons why I think we've seen a rejuvenated interest and a resurgence of the defensive or fighting shotgun, and it's I'm pretty happy with it. I'm cool. It's exciting. I like seeing a bunch of new videos on stuff. You get tired of seeing the same old stuff, and it's definitely piqued my interest. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to shooting this thing, and I'm tired of talking. So y'all be careful.